Once the ice road was built, we could get into some bigger trucks. These are like road trains that we use back home in Australia. We mobilised a lot of different insulating and rig mats, pads, and lots of equipment. We had, on average, 20 trucks a day going up and down the ice road, 500 truckloads in a month. And I've lost count of how many tonnes of equipment we've got out there, but it's a lot. The pad itself is existing gravel pad, but when we got out there in August last year, we noticed that a lot of the gravel wasn't there that we thought was there. And so we quickly realised we needed to insulate this area. And so we ordered over $20 million of pads. These insulating panels are about 6 feet by 12 feet, 6 inches thick. And that's basically polystyrene, just like your esky that you'd use to transport cold drinks in. It insulates the gravel and the ice beneath it so that you can keep a drill rig and equipment on that pad throughout summer. It'll keep the pad frozen. But as you know, you can't drive forklifts and trucks and drill rigs and goodness knows whatever else over these insulating panels. So you have to put rig mats over the top. And I'll show you a couple of photos. And these rig mats are 6 inches thick. They weigh 3 tonnes. And they're huge pieces of steel and timber that you put on top. And we've had to tile 13 acres with these insulating panels. Over 10,200 insulating panels were put in place. And proud to say, not one injury associated with that activity. And then on top of that, we put 1,700 rig mats, so you can drive over the top. So that whole pad will be frozen all year round. Here's a couple more pictures of us putting in the, these are the insulating panels sitting on the bottom here, and then you can see the rig mats being put on the top. This is pretty much as good as a dance floor in terms of by the time they're done. This is level and flat, and you can put everything you need on the pad. We also put in a whole bunch of fuel. This rig is a big drill rig. I'll show you some photos shortly. We put in diesel storage for 450,000 gallons. We'll be upgrading that to 1.6 million gallons this summer. And we also put in water storage for 430,000 gallons. You need a lot of water to drill. Drilling mud, you need water. People, you need water. So we've got a lot of diesel out there. We burn over 10,000 gallons of diesel a day on average when we're fully operating. Sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more. And as I mentioned, there are no roads. You can only barge for 6 weeks. The ice road's only good for a few months in the year. So there's limited times when you can drill. Until you run out of fuel, you run out of water, and you've got to resupply. So lots of challenges here. We're kind of in an island mode. The drill rig itself, when we did a survey for drill rigs last year, we found 3 rigs in the world that could do what we need to do at Point Thomson. A, has to be able to drill these high pressure wells. B, has to be truckable so you can mobilise it over an ice road. And then C, has to be operating in a safe mode. So we found the Neighbours 27E rig, and we've worked with Neighbours. We've spent over $25 million upgrading the rig. Neighbours put in another $10 million. And we've upgraded this rig so we can drill for a long time at Point Thomson, multiple wells. And we had to upgrade everything. We doubled the generator capacity from 4 cats to 8. We had to rebuild all 4 cats in Seattle. We increased the mud pump capacity from 2 mud pumps to 3. We can now pump 1,800 gallons per minute of mud at a pressure of 5,000 pounds per square inch at the surface. We had to build we had to build new modules to put all this equipment into. And then the derrick itself, which is 25% taller than the Statue of Liberty, had to be sent to Edmonton and stripped down into pieces and rebuilt to ensure it could withstand the loads. We've upgraded this drill rig so it can pull 1 million pounds of force. That's almost double what it could do before. And the rig itself is probably one of the most powerful in Alaska till we get the Liberty rig here. And in the world, it would be in the top 20% of the most powerful land rigs. These wells we drill are in the top 5% of the most complex wells in the world. So they're very complex. So a lot of time spent on the rig. We sent the rig around the world to get it rebuilt. We brought it all back to Deadhorse. And we put it together in Deadhorse to make sure it would go together first before we mobilised it to the site. So this is a photo in Deadhorse. We put it all together. We commissioned the system and tested everything. We spent months doing this. This is the ExxonMobil site in Deadhorse. We've had that for over 30 years. And this was an important staging area for us to place all of our equipment and materials before the ice road was built. Once we had the ice road built, we mobilised the drill rig. Over £5 million of equipment with the drill rig. And this is a picture here of the pipe yard, transporting that out. That's the one piece that we didn't upgrade in the drill rig, the pipe yard that holds pipe. And then this is a picture of the mud pump module mobilising that. And you can get a feel for the size here in terms of, there's a handrail there, so a person, there's a door. Gives you a sense for the size of these components. And then we put the drill rig on the pad, on the northern end of the pad, the central pad at Point Thomson. And then we stacked and racked over 5,000 feet of casing in the derrick, up here in the derrick. That's a picture looking up the derrick up here. And that was in preparation to drill the first hole, which we commenced drilling in May. When you drill a well, what do you get? You get cuttings from down in the hole. And this first section of hole is one of the largest holes we've drilled in Alaska, 17.5 inches in diameter. You get a lot of cuttings. Where do you put that? You don't have trucks to take it away. You don't have roads. We had to build a cuttings pit to put the drill cuttings in. And then when the barges come in summer, we'll remove those cuttings and take it back for proper disposal. So this is a line-sealed cuttings pit, and the volume of it is half of that of an Olympic pool, swimming pool. It's massive. So we had to build this. You can see the lining and then what the ultimate, the grades look like to put all the drill cuttings into. On the 8th of May, we started drilling the well. That's a Friday. And we drilled when I say started drilling, we had already drilled down to 120 feet and put in the conductors. And then from that 120-foot level, we commenced drilling the surface hole. On the 8th of May, we commenced drilling that, and we finished drilling a mile, or 5,000 feet, 1 week later. The rig performed exceptionally well. And then over 5 days, and we finished this earlier this week, we set casing. We've cemented in place 13 3/8 casing, a mile deep into this well. And now we've buttoned up the well, and we'll be waiting for winter to come along so we can drill into the reservoir. We have regulatory requirements where we cannot drill into the reservoir section unless you're in the window of November 1st to April 15th. That's the only time you can drill into the reservoir, in that window. The rest of the time you can drill surface holes, which is what we've done. We've drilled the first surface hole for the PTU-15. That will be our injector well, capable of injecting 200 million cubic feet per day of gas. In summer this year, when we get more diesel and water and remove some cuttings, we'll drill the second surface hole. In probably July or August this year, the PTU-16, which is the production one, capable of producing 200 million cubic